just to ask you a question. Did you think about starting a business? Well, I'm going to tell you. I actually had started my business at least 5 years before I left my job. And I started with the vending. So I would go out after work, I would sell water, I would sell potato chips and whatever novelties and things like that. And under the ministry, there was a group of us. So we would go out, and when there was going to be an activity or something, if there was a holiday, somebody was selling balloons, I was selling the water. And then I know my son at one time, he was 16 when he had his first business. 16, 17, I think it was. And he was selling cotton candy, and we did a 4th of July parade, the whole ministry, and we worked together to make it happen. Even though you may not start or want to start a street vending business, there's other kind of businesses that you can start. And I always share with the cottage home, you can get your cottage home license. And I think that license in Connecticut, I think it's $200. You can go through the state of Connecticut and you can get that license. You can bake out of your home. There is a cap on what they say you can make, but you can make that in just maybe one session or something. But at the same time, it's doable. So I'm encouraging those. I know things are getting tight out here and they're getting tough. So don't be discouraged. A lot of times people are losing their jobs and they're like, what am I going to do? Worry comes in, fear comes in, and you don't know what to do because you never thought about ever losing your job. Well, it happens. It happens to a lot of people. But when I left my job, the Lord was calling me out, and I could have stayed and I could have been locked in, yet He had already made provision for me that I always had an anchor in to start a business. And I started with what I had and what He gave me. So I want you to know that you can start your business. Be encouraged that you can do, I see people walking dogs, walking pets, and they're legitimate businesses. I see a lot of elderly people where I used to live, and they had dog sitting businesses. And you can do, my son, he and his wife are always hiring a dog sitter. And I'm telling you, they travel 2 to 3 times a week. And this woman is always at their home because they're always gone. And whether she's home or he's home, this woman comes into their house and she takes care of both of their dogs. So I want you to know that is an opportunity to start a business. Some people love pets. I have a granddaughter. People hire her out to take and babysit for their dogs when their family goes on vacation. You can start something like a vending business. People are getting into that. It's a large revenue, but then again, what will require for upfront investment? A lot of people don't have that big investment for vending machines, but you can do something. There are kids that are starting businesses and they're going and helping people around their homes and they're helping them clean up, especially the elderly. Sometimes just you can even start your business just as a voluntary basis to go in and help people do things. A lot of people who can't live, they can't walk. They're just looking for someone to come in and spend time, even time talking to the elderly. So in the times we're living in, we know things are getting tough. Don't be discouraged. Even if you pick up 1 and 2 gigs after work and stuff like that, and then start your business from that way. Word of mouth build businesses. Great attitudes build businesses. I know when I was out there helping the elderly, I couldn't be there all the time. So I would ask people, well, do you clean or do you do rugs and things like that? And people would say, oh, yeah, I'm coming, but they don't come. But when you're consistent in business, you can attract more clients, especially when you have a great attitude and you're consistent and you want to come and you want to take and do your best. People will pay you, and they pay you well. So I want you to know that there's different types. Look around. What can I do to start a business? If you have teenagers and they need work, a lot of times we're sending our teens out there and people don't want to hire them because they're teens. Teens they're not consistent. Well, look around. What is your child interested in? And I called my granddaughter the other night. She's going to school for cosmetology. So I had a counsel with her. What are you doing? What are you planning? What are your What are you doing to prepare for when you come out of high school? How are you going to take and have your cosmetology business? And I told her, I said, you should be able, with the support you have, you should be able to come out and have all of your equipment, building your equipment while you're in high school, that you can come out and you don't have to go and look for a job. We've been conditioned in the world to look for a job. We've been conditioned to become employees. In a lot of cultures, a lot of people are conditioned to become deployed, especially in China. They were taught growing up that they're taught to be deployed and not employed. That's why a lot of times you go into the community and there's Chinese every place, because they don't work for other people. They don't. Unless now things are changing, especially those who are grown up in America, because again, we were taught to become employees. Look up the word employee. Look up the word deployed. Start your own business, because now there's going to be so many people looking for that one job, especially people coming out of the government businesses. The government has closed, they're firing people, literally firing people. And people who went to school with these degrees, and it's like, what do they do now? So you have to become resourceful to be able to take and meet your needs, pay your bills, do the things that you need to do to take care of your kids. I'm going to tell you, I've been homeless, maybe not out in the street homeless, but living with other people. That's a big pill to swallow, especially when you're used to being independent, paying your bills. So little by little can help you start a business. Don't look to run out there and get no big $30,000. That's a discouragement that's been in place to keep people, how would I say, keep people immobilized. Because, oh, I can't start a business, I can't get a loan. You might have debt. At the same time, don't let that discourage you, because again, there's different places. Go to the library. They have business seminars. They have business things that they will help you with, and to start a business and stuff. Getting the knowledge of business is the biggest feat. Look up the word business. Look up the word employment. You have to begin to get in an environment where people are talking about moving forward in their life. A lot of times in school, they don't talk about economics. Why? Because they don't want you to advance. When you set up a system to keep people oppressed, and you don't let people thrive in the gifts and the talents that God has given us, you become stagnant. And it does become depressive, because you're like, why them and why not me? Well, I'll tell you what. In you, there is something that you love to do. People love making flowers. I'm growing flowers. People love making wreaths. People love knitting. They have people who do tournaments as professions for different chess clubs and things like that. That's a skill. That's a real skill that people do on a daily basis, just for the competition and just for the relaxation. So go ahead. I would encourage you, to really begin to look at what skills and gifts you have, that you can become self-employed and an entrepreneur. It may not all happen today. We're making 100,000, 300, on the internet and stuff. You see people, oh man, I made $1 million. It may not be $1 million. It might just be a few dollars that you can do to begin to build your skills and walk away with your own business. And then you can become self-employed little by little. I used to always hear my pastor say, little by little. So I just come on to be an encouragement. Think about it. Start those businesses. And I will be talking with you later. This is Fern from FML Diversified. Have a great rest of the week. We're going into Monday. And there's a lot of thoughts and plannings we can do during the course of the week. So you have a great evening and take care of yourself. This is Fern again from FML Diversified.